The S's are what we call the supportive. In this picture, we have a dove. I've seen in other pictures where people have put a horse. And that's because that's what they are. They're the workhorses. They're the reliable people. They're also very relationship focused. But whereas the I is more interested in the fun and the engagement, the S is more interested in how the individual's doing. Hey, are you okay? Hey, what can I do to make things a little bit better for you right now? They're very much interested in keeping everything harmonious, moving forward. But unlike the I's, it's not a hard charging forward, it's more of a slow and steady wins the race sort of forward. The S's very much are patient. They're very consistent. The easiest way I can describe an S is if you want anything done, tell an S. An S is going to get it done. It's going to happen. They're very considerate. They want things to be the way they are. They want to maintain the status quo. They're very much the opposite of the D. The D wants to change things up. The D wants to constantly be moving forward. The S, however, wants everything to be where it is right now. They want everything to move forward at a slow, steady, and even pace. These are the sort of people that constantly check on other people. These are the people that will visit others in hospitals. They'll call up friends for no other reason, just to say, hey, I just wanted to check up on you, see how you're doing. They're the peacemakers. They want things to be consistent. Pitfalls you're going to see with an S are fall in line with that. They don't handle change very well. If they feel like a relationship has been damaged, if they feel like somebody doesn't like them, or that somebody doesn't want to engage with them, they take it very personally. They don't handle rejection very well. And in a situation where everyone's emotionally charged, they're going to spend more time trying to calm everyone down than actually fix the problem. S's balance D's fantastically because a D is going to want to move forward and S is going to make sure everything happens behind them. That said, S's can be very slow. Sometimes they can hinder progress if they're not careful. Because of their consistency, because of their patience, because of their desire to maintain relationships in the status quo, S's can sometimes be a hindrance if they're not careful. So if you have an S in the family, or if you are an S yourself, be mindful of these pitfalls. And finally, we got the C's, the conscientious type, represented here by an owl. Owls are considered wise. They're considered knowing. That's what a C is. The C is your detail person. The C is the logistician. They're the ones that's going to get things done. They're going to handle your logistics. You ask them to research something, they're going to come back with every piece of information possible. In fact, if you don't give them something to do besides gather information, that's all they're going to do is gather information and continue to look and analyze and move forward in a way that's very questioning. They want reasons to do things. They don't want tasks. They want things to do. They don't want to be given busy work. They want to make sure that their contribution means something. They very much love accuracy. If an C says or does something, you can pretty well be sure it's as close to the right thing as they can come up with, because they have thought through it. They have engaged with it. They are doing everything in their power to maintain it. They're very organized. They're going to have everything in a row. Now, their organization system may only make sense to them, and I'm going to say that very clearly. But there is a logic and an order to it. Where your C's are going to fall, where your C's are going to have struggle, is if you give them a task without any reason behind it. Because they are questioning, because they are analytical. And if you don't give them a reason to do a task, they're going to start coming up with reasons on their own, and it's probably not going to be the most flattering. They're also going to be very stuck in the research mode. They have a hard time making decisions. Pure Cs do not move on their own. They have to be pushed a little bit. If you don't, they're just going to keep looking at stuff. They're going to keep weighing options. A pure C does not move decisively. So you got to be aware of that if you've got a C, or if you yourself are a C. Without a little oomph, without a little nudge, they're not really going to do what you need them to do. But that said, if you need to know something, if you need to ask a question of them, they are going to be able to pull stuff off the top of your head like you've never seen before. So that's the C. So now that we've looked at all four types, let's take a step back and look at all four of them together again. Remember in the first video I showed you some ways that if we split them up either vertically or horizontally, we can come up with some basic ideas. I want to re-emphasize that now that we've actually discussed what these types are like. So if you look across the top, the DI type is going to be very verbal. They're very fast-paced. They're the go-getters, they're the energetics, they're the hard chargers. If you look along the bottom, though, the SC type is going to be the very reserved, the very even-paced person. DIs tend to be more extroverted, SCs tend to be more introverted. DIs want things done now, they want it moving forward, they want to keep the energy going, and they're going to be very, very talkative in how they do it. Compare that to the SCs, which are going to be slower, a little quieter, have fantastic ideas and fantastic ways of doing things, but they can be overpowered by the Ds and the Is very quickly, just because the D and the Is are going to be more likely to get out there and say what they want. If we look at it from the other direction, the DC type is the very task-oriented. DCs get things done, in that they're very much focused on the job at hand. They're very logical, they're very analytical, they're very much objective in how they look at things. It's not so much feelings, it's doings. ISs, however, are more people-oriented. These are the people that are going to be more interested in the person than the thing. ISs are going to be very much the crowd pleaser, the mender, the person worried about the relationships. DCs are more worried about getting the job done. ISs are more worried about the people doing the job. If you want to look at it another way, we can look at it outgoing versus reserved, detail versus people-oriented. And here's some great quotes to look at when you look at the types. So the D type is going to be very much, let's get to the point. The I type is going to want to talk about it. The S type wants to make sure everybody's okay and not upset. And the C type simply wants to hear more details. All right, and so that's the disc. We hope you found this informative. We hope it shined a little more light into you and how you operate. But not just you, how your family, how possibly your friends operate, and how you can best relate to each other. If you like this, you want to see more, follow our Facebook page, Credo Southeast. Also look up your local facilitators in Kings Bay, Mayport, Jacksonville, Pensacola, Gulfport, and Corpus Christi. We're more than happy to come bring this out to your commands, to your people. We're here to help you. Until next time, this has been Ray, Credo Southeast. Have a good one.